Hello and welcome to the fourth session in the Healing Mindset. One of the common misconceptions about hypnosis is that it can do it for you. And while hypnosis can help, the decision to utilize that state is yours. And that decision is not simply an empty gesture. You do not simply say, "Sure, why not?" and then go about business as usual. The decision may need to be made repeatedly. It must be held for the purposes of enacting, of bringing to life, of strengthening a way of being. At this point in the journey, I feel it's time to do something a little different. This session is going to focus entirely on relaxation. And while this is a feel-good session, what I have in mind still requires serious preparation on your part. Before you continue on, you'll need to dedicate at least an hour of your time to yourself. Also, you must be open to letting yourself experience relaxation beyond what you thought was possible. This session will take place lying down on your back. If you would be more comfortable in a different position, simply prepare yourself to imagine comfortably lying on your back. There is a chance you will fall asleep during this session. If you wish to be awake in an hour or more, you might set an alarm before continuing, pausing here to make any preparations. Very good. I want you to ask yourself these questions. Have I dedicated the next hour to me? Do I give myself permission to relax deeper than ever before? If you answered yes to those questions, you may now proceed with this session by repeating these words aloud or in your mind. I dedicate this hour to me. I give myself permission to relax deeper than ever before. I dedicate this hour to me. I give myself permission to relax deeper than ever before. I dedicate this hour to me. I give myself permission to relax deeper than ever before. In a moment, I'm going to tell you a short story. At the same time you're listening to my story, I will remind you to check on your body. I will name a part of your body, and your task is to relax that part of the body even more deeply than it already is. Right hand, deeper, relaxed. And you simply find a way to relax your right hand more deeply than before. Left toes, deeper, relaxed. Right heel, deeper, relaxed.
left shoulder,
My story is about an old woman
deeper,
I met years
relaxed,
ago. I never did get a
eyelids,
chance to learn her name.
deeper,
Similarly,
relaxed,
other details of her past are sparse.
right wrist,
I was very
deeper,
curious about her,
relaxed,
but when I attempted to
right
ask her details,
elbow,
it simply
deeper,
slowed communication
relaxed,
through our mutual friend and translator.
left hip,
So I soon gave up
deeper, relaxed,
and just listened to the translator as best I could.
stomach,
And this is what I was
deeper,
told.
relaxed, left hand,
This woman was born in a remote
left
village of what
knee,
I'm guessing is somewhere in China. When she was a
right
teenager,
leg,
she also slowly lost
right
her sight.
shoulder,
There may very
neck,
well have been medical procedures that would have helped her.
right toes,
She actually doesn't know.
jaw,
The closest hospital was hundreds of miles
lower
away,
back,
and for some reason,
left
she never
heel,
went.
left wrist,
She lived a different life than most, surely,
right hip,
but through her limitations, she became an excellent cook,
left
potter,
calf,
musician, and midwife.
mind,
While she sat there,
right arm,
I imagined in my mind a guardian angel crossing her
lungs,
path, maybe double taking and simply moving
left
on,
arm,
deciding that she was doing just
abdomen,
fine.
body,
In her later years, after her children's
left
children
hand,
were adults, she decided to leave her village
left
for the very
knee,
first time. Some of the
right
villagers attempted
leg,
to discourage her. Others, who knew her better,
right shoulder,
offered to go with.
neck,
Yet she wanted to go
right
alone.
toes,
People had been telling her
jaw,
for years about these places called hospitals,
lower
where
back,
people go to heal, and she was determined to visit
left
one.
heel,
She
left
wanted
wrist,
the adventure.
right hip,
So she hitchhiked to the
left
nearest train
calf,
station and then simply walked on the first train that stopped.
mind,
On the train, she was
right
approached by a
arm,
porter asking her for a ticket. But in the confusion,
lungs,
he gave up quickly and moved on. And I'm not sure what came of that.
left
Anyway, once in town, I'm not sure how she did this either,
abdomen,
but using her own methods of communication, she made it to a hospital.
left hand,
After she got to the hospital,
left
things became
knee,
even more difficult. Some people were trying
right
to ask her for
leg,
identification, her name, where she was from,
right
why she was
shoulder,
here, and how she would pay for it.
neck,
And although she could hear
right
everything the
toes,
administrators were telling her, she didn't
jaw,
understand many of the words.
lower back,
In her village, there was no such thing as paperwork.
left heel,
All she wanted to do
left
at the hospital was
wrist,
heal. Why was it so
right
complicated?
hip,
She was ushered to
left
this room and
calf,
that, to talk to this person and then that
mind,
person, and sign this, until finally a doctor
right
put an
arm,
end to all that and simply agreed to look at her.
lungs,
The doctor, already informed of the woman's
left
difficulties
arm,
seeing and speaking, just
abdomen,
began going through a series of strange tests,
body,
looking in her mouth with instruments,
left
shining
hand,
lights in her eyes, even looking in her ears,
left
taking all
knee,
sorts of basic measurements, when it finally
right
dawned
leg,
upon her.
right
Everyone in the
shoulder,
hospital thought that she
neck,
was sick.
right toes,
What they didn't understand,
jaw,
and what she needed to communicate,
lower back,
was that she was there to heal.
left heel,
She was a
left
healer.
wrist, right hip,
Realizing this, she put an end to the silly examination right then and
left
there.
calf,
Maybe this was not the place for her to work,
mind,
but she was going to give it a try.
right arm,
She understood the doctors didn't even have the
lungs,
patience to find out who needed help and who
left
didn't.
arm,
She tried to explain this to the
abdomen,
doctor, but just as it seemed like he began to
body,
understand, he got
left
angry,
hand,
frustrated, confused.
left
He
knee,
snapped at her. "What are you doing here? This is a hospital.
right leg,
If you're not sick, leave."
right
Quickly, she was ushered
shoulder,
back into the street.
neck,
The doctor clearly didn't
right
want any of
toes,
her help.
jaw,
Certainly, she would respect that.
lower back,
She pondered the events for a moment,
left heel,
deciding perhaps she
left
was mistaken
wrist,
about what the hospital was, what it was for.
right hip,
Hearing some
left
birds off in
calf,
the distance, she went towards them with the assistance of a
mind,
passerby. She pointed towards
right
the sound
arm,
while he helped navigate the path.
lungs,
She soon felt what was likely
left
a small park, thanked her temporary eyes, and laid down
abdomen,
on the grass. And that
body,
is the first time that she showed up here. After she first came to the sanctuary many years ago, she has been working on how to communicate her healing. She has learned the art of massage, and I recommend that everyone visit her. Somehow, well, I'm simply saying I have grown to appreciate what she does. And if you wish to visit her, remember, that is why she is here. There's a small room around the back of the temple. Just take the path around the outside of the temple up along the stream. If she's busy, you will notice a white cloth covering the window. Getting up from under a tree and wandering towards the temple, you get a closer look at the design's scrolling swirls of golden color carved into the wood. The path winding around the left of the temple, following the water flowing slowly, what must be upstream from the waterfall. Here it is, standing in front of a small building added to the back of the temple. Small window on the door uncovered, the chimney between the two buildings with a lazy curl of smoke going up, up, up. Go on in. You push the door open to the dimly lit room. A wave of heat hits you as you walk in, scents of hardwood in the cast iron stove. The old woman seated in a chair next to the fire turns, smiles, stands, and bows to greet you, gesturing towards the massage table in the center of the room. You sit on the table watching the woman slowly maneuver through the tight space, closing the door, taking a small white cloth and covering the window. She turns and picks up a large woven basket sitting in the corner of the room, gesturing as if it's a safe place for anything you wish to put there. She places a thick blanket near the end of the table. As she turns and walks back around you to tend to the fire, adding a few more pieces of wood and removing the lid off a large pot simmering atop the stove. A slight steam escaping. Mint, lemon, ginger, or is it just oregano? You remove a few things to make yourself more comfortable and place them into the basket. A slight crackle as the fire begins to spread. The room warming already as she places the basket back into the corner of the room. And you lie back as she pulls the blanket gently up over your feet, legs, belly, and up to your chest. Lying back and simply breathing, she stands to the right of you. Smiles and nods as she places her left hand on your shoulder. Her right hand index and middle fingers outstretched a few feet in front of your eyes. You watch them as they slowly approach your eyes, closer and closer. Slowly, they come closer. And just as they get so close that your eyes begin to get slightly crossed, her two fingers safely come to rest directly between your eyebrows. Pausing there, you feel the gentleness of her touch as they slowly spread apart along your eyebrows for a moment, until turning down and moving over your eyes, closing your eyelids down. Pausing and holding there. She keeps a light, gentle pressure on your eyelids, holding them shut. You feel your eyes fluttering slightly underneath her fingers. Her right hand lifts off now, and you feel a slight squeeze reassuring on your shoulder as you hear her walk back towards the fire, dipping something into the water, wringing it out, and she returns placing the warm, damp towel over your eyes. Standing behind you, her hands on your shoulders, just resting them there. You begin to feel the warmth from her hands transferring into the muscles between your head and body. You relax a bit more, causing you to sigh. And as you inhale, she lifts up on your shoulders, causing you to inhale even deeper. Waiting for you to exhale, before she presses down on your shoulders more and more and more, until all the air has left your lungs. Waiting for your inhale, now she lifts up again, lifting on your shoulders, your breath going even deeper into your belly as she waits for you to exhale, pushing down, 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 relaxing you even deeper. Smiling at the lifting up on your shoulders. After you inhale, raising them up, 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 you respond by letting them rise with a deep inhale, deep even further. And as you begin to exhale, she presses your shoulders down, all the way. Slowly now her hands press alternating between left and right, rocking slowly back and forth. Your breath relaxed and easy, rocking back and forth, back and forth. She presses a little harder with each rotation back and forth, pressing a little harder now as the room getting warmer, more steam entering the air, your sinuses welcoming the scent. This is why you are here, pressing harder back and forth, letting your head sway as you go deeper down. Her hands slowly come back to lightly rest on your shoulders. As you rest, relax, breathing easily and deeply, her touch becoming lighter, lighter, and lighter. Slowly easing lighter and lighter until you feel pressure on 2 points of either side on the base of your neck. Realizing at some point her hands moved under your neck, and it's now resting on one knuckle from each hand just on either side of your spine. Her hands simply staying still underneath your neck, and your neck balancing on those 2 knuckles. As you respond simply by relaxing, letting the weight of your head and neck sink back and be supported by those 2 knuckles. And after your head sinks back even deeper, you begin to think that maybe she is slowly moving her hands. Yes, you sense it clearly now, maybe. A gentle rocking back and forth. This time while rocking slowly up the back of your neck, rocking back and forth, the 2 knuckles move up, 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 slowly rocking back and forth, stretching your neck up, up, becoming lightheaded as you feel circulation release into your brain, bringing oxygen, the sense, her hands nearly up to the base of your skull where they pause. This spot causing your eyelids to relax even more. As you fall, her hands slowly sliding around the side of your neck, head beginning to let down, dropping slowly down, your neck long. Light pressure sliding around your neck and stopping below your earlobes, just before reaching your jaw. Pausing now and slowly increasing the pressure on the small glands deeper and deeper as your jaw relaxes as she slowly massages, pressing in small circles. Your head loose and relaxed. Small circles rocking your head from side to side. Until slowly your hands slide up, 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 until they gently massage your ears, pulling lightly on your ears, first towards the back of your head, then towards your feet, up towards the top of your head, and repeating, pulling lightly on your ears back, towards your feet, and up, again back towards the back of your head, pulling down towards your feet, and up towards the top of your head. Gently as your entire scalp relaxes, tingles, feeling your hair, remembering the tree for some reason, as her hands slowly move to your temples, just pressing in firmly, causing light to dance in your closed eyelids. As she presses even a little harder now, seeing the colors dance while her hands slide up to your scalp to gently massage with all your fingers, lightly rubbing each and every finger, massaging your scalp, moving around, focusing on the top and then the sides, back to the front, the top, the back, sides, and the top, sides, back, front, top, front, back, back, top, sides, top. Her fingers dancing, playing on your scalp. Massaging becomes slower and slower now, more gentle. Her hands sliding back down the side of your neck, resting again on your shoulders. Awaiting your next inhale, perhaps she pulls up slightly. And on your exhale, maybe pushing down. Increasing the pressure with each and every inhale and exhale, pressing down even further and pulling even higher. You begin to notice a few bright scents in your sinus. And then for a few breaths, her hands pressing lighter and lighter. until finally they come to rest while you breathe normally. Her hands getting lighter and lighter and lighter as she slowly pulls away. Her hands barely touching now, until you realize that she is already removing the towel gently over your eyes, dabbing your forehead twice while you relax. You hear her move back towards the fire, resting with your eyes closed in silence. A feeling in your head almost radiating, the air crisp, feeling taller, your senses filling the room, waiting, waiting. Realizing now that you haven't heard the old woman in some time. You begin to wonder where she is. You hear her get up from her seat beside the fire. She walks over to get the basket in the corner of the room, placing the basket by your feet before returning to her seat beside the fire. You lie there for a moment, collecting your thoughts. Realizing it's up to you when to get up, when to gather your things, when to see the sun outside bright, remembering her smile, fading as you return to your senses, feeling light, cool air as you breathe in. Some people take it easy, go for a walk, maybe you wish to just rest. Remembering you can see her anytime. Remembering you can stay as long as you wish. Remembering that's why she's here. Many people leave her in a slight daze, remembering just to check the towel over the window, getting a feel for this is how the session ends. Whatever feels right for you.